Hey, hey, it's Meal Prep Monday. Come on in. It is week 2, and I'm just going to double check here and make sure we're live because it's Meal Prep Monday time. Awesome. I think we're live. I see myself on here, and it's a lot easier for me to see your comments, and I know you guys got to stay on me. You got to stay on me because I get so involved with putting everything together that I sometimes forget to see comments. So I wish, like I say, I wish that there was a way for Facebook to be like, ding, whenever there's a new comment. Because you guys, I miss your questions sometimes. And then at the end, I'm like, oh yeah, there's like 18 questions. So anyhow, hello, welcome. If you're new here, my name is Sarah, and I blog over at sugarbananas.com, and I think we're backwards, but that's okay. You get the idea, right? Sugar Bananas is easy to spell. So over at sugarbananas.com, I have a 5-week meal plan with 5 meals per week, and all the instructions to make all of your meals ahead of time on Monday or whatever day you choose. But I'm here every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern showing you how to make them all at once. And it will save you time, and it will save you money, and it will save you sanity. And I'm going to tell you something. Last week was my off week because I had built up so many freezer meals in my freezer that I had a free week, and I didn't have to cook at all last week, and it was fantastic. The only thing I did have to do was remember to defrost the food, which apparently is a problem for me. So that was my only issue last week, was having to defrost. And we had amazing home cooked meals all week, and I did not have to cook. I didn't have to chop anything. I didn't have to cook anything. It was great. I used my Instant Pot all week, and it was fantastic. But here's the thing. Here's the thing I will say. Here's the one drawback. My family is so used to having the schedule for the week, right, up on the wall or on the calendar. They're so used to having it, and I didn't realize it until last week when it wasn't there, because it was kind of like whatever I feel like pulling out of the freezer week. And they kept coming up to me and saying, hey, Mom, what's for dinner? What's for dinner? What's for dinner? What's for dinner? And I'm like, I miss. It's something you don't realize you miss until it's gone, right? So having the calendar up on the wall, I print it out each week. We're on week 2 this week. It's so convenient. It's so convenient. So I see you guys coming in. Hey, Laura. Hey, Lisa. Happy to see you guys. So I missed you all last week. I did go over a lot of my really good tools that I use instead of meal prepping, but I'm glad to be back in the kitchen this week. I gotta say, dare I say, I'm to the point now where I actually enjoy cooking and meal prepping. And if there's a week that I'm not doing it, I kind of miss it. I don't miss the mess, but I do kind of miss, you know, the chopping and the mixing and all that kind of fun stuff. So I am making my lemonade, and I'm going to get started because, like I say every week, this is like my favorite week, right? So this week we've got some goodies, and what I love about a couple of these is they used to be meat meals, and I have turned them into vegetarian meals without losing any of the flavor. I promise you. These are fantastic. Okay, and I have to apologize ahead of time. You'll probably notice my eye is twitching like crazy. I think it's my coffee. I think it's my coffee, and I'm like, come on. So this afternoon, 2 o'clock, I'm not gonna have my afternoon pick-me-up coffee. I'm gonna have some lemonade. Hopefully that'll stop my eye twitching. If you guys know any ways to get rid of eye twitching, let me know. It always happens if I have super strong coffee without enough cream. It's problems with not enough cream, right? I love my lemonade with all the crunchy sugar in the bottom. Yes. Okay, let's get started. So again, this is week 2 out of 5 weeks. And what I love about this is there's enough meals that we don't get sick of them. So we haven't had these meals in weeks and weeks. So now we're back to craving them again. So I'm going to make this week, we're going to start out with one of my favorites with meat that I've turned into a non-meat meal. And you're going to be like, I don't know if you can do that, Sarah. How are you going to do that? Well, I'm going to show you because it's fantastic. It's got awesome flavor. So step 1 of the 5 steps, because there's 5 steps in meal prepping. Step 1, I'm going to go over it quickly, is you're going to need a meal plan. I've got them on sugarbananas.com. You can print them out, stick them to your wall so your family doesn't bug you like crazy. What's for dinner? What's for dinner? Stick them to your wall. Fill them out, and then you can grocery shop from your list, which is fantastic. Then you're going to make sure that your counters are clean. Don't try to meal prep with school papers. Nobody wants to go to school with red bell pepper stains on their homework, okay? Not saying it hasn't happened before, but I'm just saying you're going to want a nice clean area. Give yourself some space to work because, I mean, honestly, you're making 5 meals. A couple of these you're doubling. You're making a lot of meals all at once. You're going to need space to spread out. In my case, I have to move the Alexa and tomato juice don't mix either. So give yourself clean space, clean out your fridge, some space in your fridge, clean out some space in your freezer, clean out your sink. That's going to help you a lot, cleaning out your sink. So once you've got your meal plan and you've shopped and you've given yourself a nice clean space, now you can move on and you can gather all of your items you're going to need. I like to separate my island here. So I have my containers I'm using, I have some ingredients I'm using, and I have my spices and oils and things like that over here so that I know when I see it come up on a recipe, I already know which way to grab. I'm not like, oh, this is a humongous mess, I don't know what to do. It might look like a mess, but it's my organized mess, I promise. I promise. So, gather all your stuff. I also like to clean all my veggies at this time because that means while I'm gathering everything else, all my spoons and my measuring cups, my veggies have a chance to dry before I'm going to go ahead and go attack my chop list. Alright, next, you're going to start your grains. Look over your recipes you're going to have for the week. Decide how many grains you're going to need. Typically, I'll make my 5-minute bread recipe. I'll make some rice. Depending on what I'm preparing for the week, we'll have some pasta, things like that, maybe some quinoa. This week, we're making, I'm going to make my 5-minute bread and some rice. So I already have the rice going, or rice in my Instant Pot, which is fantastic for meal prepping. Having an Instant Pot, if you don't have one and you really want to get serious about meal prepping, grab yourself an Instant Pot. It will be so much of a lifesaver. So I've got my rice in here. I'm going to literally just push the rice button, make sure the top is sealed, and that's going to be done in 12 minutes. And I'm going to seal it up. I'm going to package it up, seal it up, and then we're going to take it from the fridge as we need it throughout the week. And then I don't have to start rice from the beginning when I'm trying to make a dinner. It's already done. It's already cooked. So we've got our grains started. I also, like I said, I make the 5-minute bread, which I'm not going to put in here. I keep it in my big container here, which you saw me, if you saw me last week, here it is, my humongous Rubbermaid container. I've already made it because we wanted some bread over the weekend and we didn't have any. So this will last in my fridge for about 2 weeks, which is fantastic. We're going to have some soup this week, which is going to be awesome with that bread. So when it comes time to have soup, I'm going to literally just take a handful of that bread and I'm going to let it rise on the counter for like 30 minutes. I'm going to pop it in the oven for 30 minutes and we have homemade, delicious bread that I did not have to knead. There's no kneading. It's so good. Please tell me you guys have tried this bread. Please tell me you've tried it. It's so delicious. All right, so you started your grains, then you're going to get busy chopping. Get yourself a good knife and get busy chopping. I like to have a humongous tray right here where I can have everything all together. So as I'm assembling, I know all my veggies are right here that I'm going to need. If you're making meals with meat, just make sure you keep your veggies and your meat separate. All right, and then my favorite part, we get to assemble. The last step is assembly. So my favorite tool for assembly, you've seen these, my bag holders. These are awesome. I think I've told you before, I had to use my blender as a bag holder until I got with the program and got myself some legit bag holders. These are awesome. They're on Amazon. If you want, I can post the link. So where you can find them on Amazon. They come in like packs of 1, 3, 7, 10. I don't know who's using 10, but hey, if you're using 10 and you've got 10 meals you want to make at once, go for it. These are awesome. I typically just use 2 at a time. I have 3. I rarely use 3 at a time. So let's assemble. First things first, I'm going to make some coconut curry. And if you typically enjoy coconut curry, you probably have it with some chicken. I completely have had it before and love it, and I wanted to turn it into something that I could have as part of a plant-based meal. So we're going to have some coconut curry that's equally delicious, minus the chicken, but still amazing. All right, typically I will make 2. So I will typically fill both of these bags, or put a bag in both of these holders. But I'm not doing that this time because even though I spent all week emptying out our freezer last week and using up our freezer meals, I still don't have enough room. You guys, my freezer's packed. We have a birthday week this week, so we have a lot of other stuff going on in the freezer, some ice creams and stuff like that. So I'm gonna make this just a single one, which is still fine. All right, into the curry bag, we're gonna put a cup of onion, and I just eyeball. There's no measuring cup situation going on here. And it's so convenient to have it all pre-chopped and ready for you to go. All right, so a cup of onion, and then I'm gonna add in a couple cups of broccoli. These are already frozen. I'll just put the whole thing in. Why not, right? Some broccoli and some carrots. I like to get the matchstick carrots because I am not about to sit here and chop carrots. I'll chop anything else. I hate to chop carrots. So we're gonna put some, I don't know, a couple cups of the matchstick carrots in here. These are also great for salads too. Come on in. There we go. Then, of course, we need some garlic. So if you have the time to mince your own garlic, fresh garlic, of course that's going to be even better flavor, especially if you're just making this today and you just minced it. Oh, it's nothing better than fresh garlic. But this is a great substitute, so I buy it pre-minced. Okay, so much easier, huge time saver, especially when you're making all this at once. So we've got some onions, some broccoli, some carrots, some garlic, and now let's get busy with the spices. Ginger. Ginger is super duper powerful flavor, so I try not to overdo it, but I love it. I love it in the curry. All right, and ginger is actually one of the superfoods. It's tons of antioxidants. It's so good for you. Of course, I'm going to add some cayenne pepper, and I got this at H-E-B in Texas. Miss you, Texas. And because I miss Texas so much, I just get the large container of cayenne and I refill it because I like to look at my pretty H-E-B. H-E-B, if you're watching, I miss you. All right, tons of cayenne. I love things extra spicy. And then it's not coconut curry without the curry. So let's add a couple of tablespoons. And when this cooks, your entire kitchen is going to smell so good. It smells so good right now, it's not even cooking. I'm like, all that ginger and curry going on. Yum. So I'm going to add some oil in here because when I go to cook, I'm going to just dump this in the Instant Pot and click the saute button. So add some oil. There we go. And we're done. No, we're not done. One more thing. I'm going to do some veggie stock. It's so ugly. It's like my ugliest ingredient. Can you see this? So I like to stick that right on top so it goes right down into the Instant Pot for some extra flavor. Then, after it sautés for a little bit in the Instant Pot, I'm going to add even more goodies. So, I'm going to add some water to mix in with the veggie stock. I'm going to add some, of course, some coconut milk and some snap peas. Snap peas don't like to cook too long. So once it's already done simmering for a while, then I'll go ahead and add the snap peas. And I'll add in some fresh chopped tomatoes. Delicious, the curry and the coconut milk. Yum! We're going to put the whole thing over top of rice in a bowl. and it is like the best warming comfort food, and it's loaded with all those really good flavors in there. So we've got one meal already good to go for the week. And I think that's actually going to be tonight's. I think we're going to put that in there tonight. My family loves it. Okay, what's next? What's up next is one of our standby favorites. Now this I am going to make two of, because this may end up being a lunch this weekend. So I'm going to make two of these. This is such a beloved recipe, guys. I have made this tortilla soup as a gift. I have gifted this soup. This is how delicious it is. So my friend Katie, she is the one that got me into blogging, and she blogs over at Austin Owl, like the city Austin in Texas, Austin Owl. And she actually made this for me, my apron. Katie is the one that taught me this recipe, and it's fantastic. Hey, Two Hearts Desires here. Now it's time to sing. Everybody's gonna sing. Happy Monday. Alright, so Katie got me into the tortilla soup recipe, and it's so easy, so delicious. When I've given it to other people to try, they're like, oh thanks, soup, great. And then they have it, and then they're calling me like, where's the recipe for this? It's delicious. Okay, so in two parts. The second part is already in my blender over here. It's already been blended. So I'm going to show you the first part, and then we're going to add that second part, and then we're done. And there's one secret ugly ingredient. I'm going to show you my ugly ingredient. So let's go. Tortilla soup. We're going to go with some corn. We're going to pop some corn in the bottom. This is frozen, so I don't know if it's, yeah, we're good. I'm going to pop some corn in the bottom. About a cup each bag. You don't have to, like again, you don't have to measure it too strictly. It doesn't really matter. It's soup, right? You can throw whatever you want in there. Alright, so we've got our corn. Oh, each bag is going to get quite a bit of black beans. So Katie told me this recipe, and she didn't have black beans in hers, but I like to add the black beans because her recipe had the chicken. The chicken. You like that? The chicken. So instead of the chicken, I add the black beans. And I also throw them all over my counter. Alright, so 2 cans of black beans that I have rinsed and drained and all that fun stuff in each bag. And like, before you think, holy cow, that's a ton of beans. Each bag is going to feed us a dinner and a lunch. So this is actually 2 full meals in each bag. Because I'm also going to add some toppings to it as well once I cook it. Okay. Each bag is also going to get half of one of these humongous cans of diced tomatoes. Now, you can do regular, or I've also done my personal favorite, but I couldn't find any this time, the fire roasted. It just gives it that extra depth of flavor there. Alright, we've got that. Let's move that out of the way. We've got corn, black beans, tomatoes. Here comes the ugly ingredient. So I buy these in cans. They're like the small cans. And they are chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. Now, if you see the recipe for this on sugarbananas.com, you will see a close-up picture of one of these ugly ingredients. I've got ice coming off of it because I'm not going to use 1 can for a recipe. They're so powerful that I only use like 1 or 2 peppers per recipe. And then I'll go ahead and freeze the other ones individually. So that's why there's frost coming off of here. And then I've already put in a couple of teaspoons of that really good, smoky, delicious sauce down in there. Alright, so that's my secret ingredient. My secret ugly ingredient is the chipotle pepper with the adobo sauce. Now, if you're like me and you love the spice, keep it in there. Chop it up, eat it. Love it. It's delicious. Some people, they just like the extra little flavor. They don't like all that extra spice. So they'll take it out almost like a bay leaf. I just love it so much. And I force my kids to eat spicy foods. So they have to eat it. Alright, so we're also going to add a little more of the veggie stock. Another ugly ingredient. I swear this is delicious with all this ugliness going on. It's so yummy. This veggie stock is awesome. So 1 teaspoon is going to be for about 1 cup of water. And if you see in my blender, I've got some liquid about to go in there. So I got the veggie stock. I'm going to do some oil. I'm not sauteing any of this. This is just going to I'm going to open the bag. I'm going to dump it in the Instant Pot. And it's going to be ready to go in like, what, 10, 15 minutes? Because the beans are already cooked. Now, are you ready for the blender ingredients? This is water, garlic, a ton of cilantro, some onion, and it's awesome. You don't have to chop it all up into little pieces because the blender does all the work. So I put like whole onion halves in here and some more tomatoes. So you blend it up until it's this gorgeous green, and then I'm going to pour half and half in each bag. And I'm telling you, it's ugly, but it's so good. Got about half, guys? Please promise me you will try this recipe once in your life. All you need to do is try it once, and you will be so hooked. And you'll be like, Sarah got me into this, and I can't stop. We can't quit it. We can't quit our tortilla soup. So once it's done out of the Instant Pot, I'm going to top it with some crunched up tortilla chips, of course, tortilla soup. And then I'm going to, of course, we have to add some cheese, right? Cheddar cheese. And if you want to get super fancy, you could add, there we go. You could top with like some sour cream, some red onion, jalapeno, what else? Some more cilantro, whatever you like. So I like to freeze these flat. This is my big tip of the day right here. Freeze them flat, just like this. If you saw my last Facebook Live from last week, I was showing you how important it is to freeze it flat, because once it's flat and frozen, say that 5 times fast, right? Once it's frozen that way, you can then stand it up, and I like to keep it in the bin in my freezer, and I can just easily decide, like, okay, what are we gonna have for dinner tonight? It's so much more convenient if you freeze it flat like that. So we've got meal number 2, and we've got meal number 3, which is actually 2 meals in one. And I like to leave some of the air in there. Here's your other tip. I like to leave some of the air in here because it gives your liquids some room to expand and not destroy your bag and pop open. The other tip I'm going to tell you, once it's frozen, and if Kim's here, she knows. Once it's frozen, I can't see. Am I missing something? Okay. Once it's frozen, double bag, or no, before it's frozen. Before it's frozen. I don't want to get this mixed up. Double bag. Because if you have just one single bag in your freezer and it bumps into stuff or rubs up against something, you can get little tiny tears. And then when you go to defrost on your counter, you get tortilla soup all over your counter. If you're defrosting in your fridge, it's all over your refrigerator. Okay, so we're going right along. This is awesome. I love having all this done. I don't even mind the humongous mess because I have all these meals already done. Okay, next, I'm gonna do some really quick stuffed peppers. This is so simple, so delicious, so tasty. I promise you, you will not even miss the meat. You won't even miss it. It's that good. So what I'm gonna do, this is like a 2-step process. I have the rice going. Some of the rice in here is gonna go into the filling. There's some cilantro in it. I've cut some of my peppers in half. I'm gonna put half in one bag. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, there we go. Put half in one bag, half in another bag, and then I'm gonna put the filling in the 3rd bag. So when I go to make this on Wednesday, I'm gonna mix the filling, and I'm gonna have the filling in this bag. I'm gonna put it in the Instant Pot on saute. Then, when that's ready, I'm gonna add the rice, mix it all together, fill my peppers, and one of them is gonna be for dinner, so it's gonna go under the broiler with some chopped nuts and some Gruyere cheese. Hello, Gruyere. And the other one is going to be filled peppers that is gonna go in the freezer for another meal. So we've got our peppers that are already chopped. And again, it's a colossal mess. My kitchen, yes, I'm not gonna lie, it is a mess. But I'm only cleaning up this mess once. I'm only pulling out the cutting board once, the knives, the spices, the sauces, the measuring cups, everything, one time. So let's do the filling. I'm gonna show you how simple this is. We're gonna do, this is for the stuffed peppers. We're gonna do, I ran out of space. Some onion, let me grab some more onion in here. Some onion, and then if you have any extra left over on your tray when you're done, it makes a really good addition to your salad that you're gonna make for the week, right? So we got some onion, some garlic, of course. Always need garlic with the peppers and onion. Smells so good when it's sauteing. Yes, I go really heavy with the garlic. We love garlic in this house. Onion, garlic. I'm gonna add just a pint of the mushrooms. Not a huge mushroom fan, but my husband and my daughter are, so I take one for the team. They can have their mushrooms. And I saute them down to that, I almost don't even see them, but I get that really good mushroom flavor, which I like the mushroom flavor. I just don't like the texture. Okay, mushrooms. I'm gonna add in more. This is the tomato week. We're gonna do some more tomatoes. So delicious, just stuffed into those peppers. Again, I was gonna add some matchstick carrots, which I usually add. My grocery store didn't have them. Hello, Wegmans, do you hear me? You ran out of matchstick carrots, and I'm not happy about that. It's Monday. We should have carrots. Okay, what I did was I took some, these are onions falling in here. What I did was I took some baby carrots, which they did have. They had tons of baby carrots. And I put them in my blender with some water, and I just pulsed them for a little bit and then poured them through a sieve. So now I have all these perfectly chopped carrots. So I'm gonna put a couple cups in here. I'm not gonna do the whole thing because that's a ton. I kind of got a little bit overdoing it with the, I overdid it a little bit with the carrots in the blender, if that makes any sense. All right, so we've got messy hands, onions, garlic, mushrooms, tomatoes, carrots. Let's add some more of the stock. I'm gonna do quite a bit because you want that nice, extra flavorful filling for your peppers. And then when you cut into it and you have that cheese on top and you have the crunchy nuts, delicious. And I gotta grab my towel because I've got carrot hand city over here. Okay, veggie stock, and let's do some oil. So again, Wednesday, I'm gonna make this, if that's what we end up having on Wednesday. I'm gonna saute it first in the Instant Pot on the saute setting. Then, when that's done, I'm gonna take the rice that's gonna be already done, and I'm gonna mix it in, and then I'm gonna stuff my peppers. I can already taste this. It's so delicious. I'm gonna stuff my peppers, then I'm gonna put the first half in the oven, broil it with the nuts and the Gruyere, or you could use feta. Feta's so good too. And then the other ones I'm gonna put in the freezer for another day, another meal. That's what's so convenient about this this meal plan, is that you can double most of these, triple, quadruple them, and then you're gonna have all these extra meals in your freezer for lunches, for other weeks, for other nights, for if you have guests come over. It's so convenient. You're gonna have hot, delicious, homemade meals already ready in your freezer. Okay, next, we're almost done. I am blowing through this list. Next, I'm going to make some lentil stew. So again, because this is one of the other ones that our family kind of goes crazy for, even though I don't have a lot of freezer room for it, I'm going to make it anyway. I'm going to double it up anyway. Okay, so lentil stew. Sounds so boring, right? Lentil stew. You guys, this stuff is delicious. Delicious. And even extra delicious if you add a shot of lemon juice to it right before you serve it. Don't put the lemon juice in before you serve it. It kind of kills the lemon flavor. Add it right before you serve. It's amazing. It's like the best comfort food. So I like to serve this with homemade bread. So in each bag, I'm gonna add, so convenient, it's already chopped. I'm gonna add some onions. These are all gonna get sauteed together. Some celery. And then that's the other thing I really love about the Instant Pot is once you're done sauteing, you can turn it on the stew feature and it will stew it and cook it to the point where your big veggies, like your carrots and your, it's talking to me, your carrots and your celery get really nice and soft and perfect for your stew. Okay, almost got it all here. Onions. Again, this is not a tidy process. This is a very messy process. I've got veggies everywhere. My sink, everything. We've got dishes, ingredients, but the benefit is it's only once a week that I'm destroying my kitchen, right? All right, so we've got onion, carrot, celery. Of course, if we're gonna be sauteing all that together, we're gonna need some more garlic. And I'm gonna tell you what, I'm not gonna put too much garlic in here because I have another secret ingredient and I don't want it to overpower my secret ingredient, right? So onion, garlic, carrot, celery. Let's do a whole, it's the week of the tomato. It's the week of the tomato. A whole can of tomatoes. I like to tilt it sideways as I pour it in so I don't get it everywhere. Whole can of tomatoes. And a whole can of tomatoes. The other beauty about making all your meals all at once is when you're opening all your cans, you just go through and open them all at one time. You get all your lids, you check them. It's so much more convenient to make it all at once. All right, next, let's add, here we go, our lentils, lentil time. So they grow all different kinds of lentils. I mix them all together, it doesn't matter because the Instant Pot is so amazing that it just kind of just softens everything into perfection, no matter what the size. Okay, ready? I'm gonna put about 2 cups, these are half cup scoops, about 2 cups of lentils in each bag. And get 4 in here, 2, 3, 4, done, done, done. Then, of course, we need our bay leaf. Don't eat your bay leaf. Take it out. Take it out before you eat it. All right, so bay leaf and one of my favorite things on this green earth, basil. I love my basil. So I get really heavy with the basil, of course. Let's do some more veggie stock. And then I'm gonna show you my secret ingredient. Okay, ready? 1. And there we go. Again, that's about like 1 teaspoon per cup of water. And then I don't like to put in too much. It looks like a whole lot, but it's not. And then when I go to serve, if it's not flavored enough, then I will go ahead and I'll add some more of the veggie stock and it brings it right back to life. So here's the other thing. The other ingredient that is called for in this recipe is oregano. And y'all know I love my oregano, okay? So I grow it in the summer and then I cook with it all winter long. Now I found something better than dried oregano. What could be better than dried oregano, you ask? Fresh oregano. What's better if you don't have fresh oregano? Oregano oil. So I will put this in my lentil stew after it's done cooking. 1 drop, guys. 1 drop. This stuff is so potent and powerful. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. This smells like a fresh summer garden of oregano, and this smells like dried oregano. Huge difference. huge, huge difference, right? So if you can get your hands on some oregano oil, do it for your stews and your soups and your Greek salads. Delicious. All right, so I'm gonna hold off on the oregano because I'm gonna add it after it's already done in the Instant Pot. I don't wanna cook it at such high heat with the essential oil in there. All right, and then finally, I'm gonna take this huge container of spinach and I'm just not even gonna measure. I'm gonna literally just do this. I'm gonna pack it in to the point where it doesn't fit anymore. And then if I have any left over, it'll be for our salad this week. Add it to salad, it's no big deal. There we go, pack it down. You guys know when you cook with spinach, it'll wilt down to like nothing. So it looks like a ton, but it'll totally wilt down. All right, and I might be able to get it all in. Let's see. So I'm gonna serve this with my homemade bread. So yummy. You can dip it in buttered bread in your lentil stew. And then I like to even add some more spice to it. My family doesn't like too much, but they know I love the spice. So I'll add some like sriracha to it or some hot sauce. I love it. Okay, look at that. Done and done. Each of these bags are gonna feed us twice. This will, and then once it's in the Instant Pot, I'm also gonna add a bunch of water to it. So it's not gonna be all these dry ingredients in here, but that's about what will fit in here. So this will feed us dinner and lunch, dinner and lunch. So one of these is gonna go in my fridge for the week. One of these is gonna go in my freezer for another time. So let's get these are super heavy, substantial meals. And I love that I can get all those veggies into my kids too. All right, and then our final meal. Are you ready? Are you ready for our Friday night meal? This is also a favorite in our house. And I found a way to make it meatless and still delicious. So Friday night, we're gonna have some nachos. What I do is I take a bunch of our tortilla chips and I put them on the broiler tray. And then I will sprinkle on my meat mixture, which is a pea protein. It's called Beyond Meat. It's amazing. It's amazing. I don't know how they do it. The crumbles are awesome. They taste just like meat. They have like that chew to it, just kind of like a ground beef. Delicious. Okay, so I will mix that with some black beans on the stove. It cooks in 3 minutes. I'm not even kidding you. 3 minutes from frozen with some black beans. It's already seasoned with like cumin and all the kind of taco spices. And then what I'll do to prep ahead, because I don't want to be taking our Friday night and spending it chopping a bunch of toppings, what I'll do is I will make a toppings kit for Friday night, and then we'll have it again on Sunday for lunch. So I've got a toppings kit for Friday and Sunday. And in our toppings kit, you can kind of see what I have here. I'm going to do tons of iceberg lettuce. So I like to kind of fill up that space in our bellies with lettuce, if I can, more so than chips and cheese. So any kind of time I can add some extra veggies into our dinner, I'm all over it. So I've got some lettuce, and let's do some tomato. So once it comes out from under the broiler, we're gonna top it with all these goodies. And almost done. And then I've got 2 different kinds of onions here. I've got some green onion and red onion. And I just kind of mix them. Together. It's not that big of a deal. So finally, I've kept the jalapenos separate because they know Mama loves her jalapeno. And sometimes they'll ask for jalapeno on their nachos, but sometimes they don't. So I've chopped it separately, and I'm just gonna kind of like tuck it down in the side here so I can take it out right before I go to serve and top all of their nachos. So I'll grab my Mattel again, and we're good. So we've got a toppings kit for Friday night, toppings kit for Sunday lunch, and we're good. How many times do you meal plan and you do really well with all of your dinners? You plan, you've got it all set, And then the weekend hits and it's lunchtime. And you're like, well, what are we gonna have? We don't have any leftovers. What are we gonna do? And then you end up having to like go out to a restaurant or scavenge. Do the scavenge. I can't stand it. My family loves hot meals. So this is perfect. This system is so perfect because we will end up eating these things for dinner and then we will have the exact same thing for lunch 2 days later. I don't feed it to them twice in the same 2 days. I'll stretch it out to 2 days later. And the great thing is because it's plant-based, there's no meat in there. It'll last in the fridge. It won't be like, you know, leftovers with meat kind of go bad really quickly. No. These are awesome. I can take all the meals over here that I've made for the week. So we've got coconut curry, tortilla soup, stuffed peppers, lentil stew, and the nacho kit. And I'm going to put them in my fridge. I'm not going to put them in my freezer. I'm not going to have to worry about defrosting them all week because there's no meat in them. They will hang out all week and they'll be totally fine. They'll be just as fresh on Friday as they are today, if not better, especially the lentil stew. Once you get all those flavors to kind of hang out together all week, oh, so good. Okay, so that's that, guys. And if you want to grab some oregano oil, send me a message and I will get you some. And I'll show you how to get some. And I will also link to my favorite tools, my bag holders. And what else? If you have any questions, you can send me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But right now I've got a colossal mess in my kitchen. If I could pan this camera right now, you would be like, what is that? So I've got dishes, I've got cans to clean up, spices to put away. But again, it's just one time a week. I don't have to deal with this mess for the rest of the week. And dinner time is so easy. My kids come home from school knowing dinner's already basically set. It's done. It's a known thing. So again, thanks for tuning in. And I will see you guys next Monday for Meal Prep Monday. And we're going to be working on week 3. So if you want to grab the menu ahead of time, it's on sugarbananas.com. So thanks for hanging out. And I will see you guys next week. All right, bye.